Welcome to Prana Talk TV. I'm Shana Dean and
This is Elitom El-amin.
welcome everybody and welcome Elitom. It's so wonderful to see you.
Oh man, it's good to be seen. And here I am in wonderful Goa, India. The weather's beautiful. This is my first time here, and this what everybody did talk about. So this is beautiful, and I'm having a wonderful time. And I know you've been on your adventures for the last couple months, manifesting, and also I know you got a lot to share. So this is why we're getting together. We're ready for another good episode.
I know, I'm so excited. It's been 2 months since we have shot a video, so we are long overdue. And the reason for that is because I went to Sedona, Arizona, which I thought was going to be only for 1 week, and I ended up staying for 2 months.
Wow.
And like I tell everybody, I got lost in a vortex. I didn't want to come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one thing about being on this journey, the growth don't stop. Humans are growing beings by our nature, because we are nature. That's all we do is grow. So like I was saying earlier, even when I was in the military, for instance, you have, say for instance, you had these people to know each other, or this couple, and you'll have this person go on deployment for like 6 months, and they'll get back to that person. They're two total different people. Everybody's life been going on, and that's just the way it is on human growth and development. So it takes a lot on to start taking part in your development for the better. And that's what the breatharian knowledge is basically telling people. You just don't have to go with the flow and just degenerate and just get tossed around. You can actually ride the wave of life to always deal with human development in a positive way. And if you put in positive effort, you're going to get positive results.
Exactly. And what I find is if we get out of our own way, we naturally escalate. Because like you've said, the energy naturally moves up and we naturally evolve and evolve and evolve. So all we have to do is get out of our own way. That means get out of our, maybe some negative or limited belief systems, or if you're eating heavy foods or anything that's keeping you from being closer to the light. Right? And this is all about following soul path, soul callings as well.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because I had
energy loves to move. One of the ancient laws was everything is vibration. Everything is vibrating. And of course, today, quantum physics got to come and say everything's moving. Physical matter is giving off waves when you look at it. Even though they're saying that now, it's been on the consciousness of humanity. All the ancient texts was already talking about that. So even when we're asleep at night, our brains don't stop working. Our bodies don't stop working. That shows right there that we're internal. All we're doing is resting.
Yes.
But let's get even deeper. You said something real key about sleeping outside compared to sleeping inside.
Right. Yes, we were talking about this before we started recording. So I went to Sedona, like I said, I thought was going to be for a short period of time. I ended up staying there for 2 months, and the whole time I basically was outside, van camping and camping, and it was amazing during the summer when everything's warm. But then, of course, the weather changed and started getting a little chillier. But it's really fascinating. I don't know how many of you out there have experienced extended camping or extended being outside, but it is really amazing what it does for the body and your health. And I think this is a really important topic right now, especially during the time of COVID, when people are worried about getting sick. And there's a lot of fear out there, that you can take control of your own health, not only by fasting and eating lighter, which is what we are all about, but also about doing little things like maybe opening your window at night and getting fresh air, right? Something simple like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Or sleep outside. In fact, I think I read a study years ago that said if you can sleep outside 2 weeks, just 2 weeks out of the winter, you won't get sick that winter, right? And
it'll make a whole difference on your health.
It makes a huge difference. And I've also read that back when there was the plague back in the day, that they would actually take people out of the hospital, roll them out on their gurneys and sit them outside to get the fresh air and the cold air, and they would heal much faster.
Oh,
It's amazing.
absolutely. They should do that now.
They should do
When
that.
I was in Florida, hospital every evening. But when we looked at that hospital, we said all those patients should be rolled out to be near this river that we were at. And there will be so many improvements that would take place in that building that they were in, not near the negative ions that nature give off, no energy movement, none of that good, fresh, clean air. So right there, that was adding on to their sickness, adding on to their recovery.
Exactly,
And
exactly. And the
we're not just saying this for a philosophy. When I was in southern Egypt, I was in a place called Nubia, and the houses were made out of bamboo, mostly bamboo and brick. But the roof or the ceilings, one part was bamboo and the other part was open, in the open air, because the weather is perfect there, perfect weather. And the guy said that people from the northern countries were getting, what you call that, from their doctors, permission from their doctors to take vacations, to stay in those bungalows, to stay in those houses for air circulation to better their health. And this is what they're saying. They were getting medical prescriptions.
I
When I
love
was in
it.
Israel, they was getting medical prescriptions to to go to the Dead Sea. I call it the Live Sea. So there's all natural things on this planet that's best kept secrets. And one of them is we sleeping outside. That is our nature.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to add on to that. The hospitals at this day and age are modern hospitals. The windows don't even open. They don't even open. And I know back in the day that they did, you know,
Right.
I mean, they used to be able to.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Now let's get into it. Just being here in India, there was a guy going through the breatharian process. He was doing really good. This is what he said. And every day, basically, he was getting in touch with us. We was walking the beach and everything. Then he took a time out for 2 weeks. And when he got back with us, this is what he said. He was in the house during 2 weeks. He felt this shift in his energy just being in the house, just like you're saying. And that's what he felt, hungrier. He felt his energy levels going down. He did not feel the same. So even when I was studying the breatharian knowledge, eating very little or none at all, this is what it boils down to. There was a book in Spain that I was reading where it said the human being is naturally built to be outside. See, there's a lot of inventions in modern day civilization, even though we made it to make life more comfortable, more relaxed, it actually has become a breeding ground for disease. It's
Absolutely.
taken up out of our nature.
Yeah, and I felt this because when I was out there for 2 months, I was starting to really build up a serious tolerance to the cold weather, being outside. I felt so incredibly healthy. And
Right.
I finally did move inside because I had the opportunity to stay indoors with some friends for the last 2 weeks of my stay in Sedona. And I got hot showers every day because I wasn't showering every day, right? Maybe like every 2 to 3 days or something like that. And the water wasn't always
Right.
hot, you know, sometimes it was like a quick, you know, bird bath kind of thing. But hot showers every day and then heat day and night. I actually started feeling a little like I could tell my body on the inside started changing, and I started feeling
Right.
kind of sickly and weaker. And I just didn't feel as robust. And the only thing that changed was the heat and the, you know, lack of fresh air and the hot water.
Oh, absolutely.
That's really big.
So this right here is the biggest prescription, the first prescription for sickness, illness, and disease. Now, the reason I say this is because there's 6 different levels of yoga in the different systems, whether it's Kriya Yoga, Kundalini, they all follow the same system and it all works together. And usually I tell people at the third level, it decrease if you're at, but when you get to the sixth level, it is nature. Nature is the sixth level of yoga. You should get outside every day and spend as much time out there as possible. And that is a level of yoga. There's no way in the world you should be living your life inside of a box and expect to be healthy. Your body is so hooked up to the matrix, so hooked up to the atmosphere. You are nature just like a tree. Now, of course, there's some places where the weather could be a lot more challenging, but you should still dress for the weather. You should still get out. You understand? And even when you have your house, you should make yourself user-friendly to be there, because we are creatures that adapt to the situations we are. This is why we got so many DNA and genetic changes as our ancestors migrated all over the planet to blend in with the atmosphere. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, there's so much I have to say about this. First of all, if you don't want to live outside, and I understand if you don't, at least open your windows. And open your windows, especially at night when you're sleeping, because you can really bundle up in bed. And if you have fresh air, no matter how cold it is outside, just let the temperature drop and let yourself breathe in that air and feel the cold air and the nature coming in. And that right there alone will do wonders for you.
Absolutely.
And
as a matter of fact, when I was young, I was snoring. So my father, he took me to the hospital. You know what the doctor said? Does he sleep with the window open? If not, open up the window. And we're home and did it.
Your video's breaking up a little bit.
We know. We are creatures on this planet will tell you where energy is to move. You should always pause. To keep that flow.
Yes, keep the flow. The other thing I'd like to say about being outside is when I was outside camping and living outside, when you don't have the distraction of social media, being on the computer, the TV, your books, you know, whatever it is that you have inside, really your whole social life is being outside. So I was hiking 2 to 3 times a day, meditating outside, everything was outside. So I'm far more physical and far more healthy in general, because you're moving the body. And if you do need rest, you're resting under a tree, you're meditating with the elements, you're more aware of the moon and the stars and the cycles of the celestial bodies. I mean, you are so connected to the actual planet. And guess what? You're also more connected to your own body, your own cycles, your own energy. And when that starts happening, you start becoming more in alignment, your body, with the planet Earth, with Gaia. And we're always connected, but you're more acutely aware of it, and there's more of a deeper alignment. And let me tell you, your meditations, at least this was the case for me, the meditation level went really high. The energy really high and refined. And which leads to our second topic, of course, which is manifesting. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it's what happens when you're outside, and the more time you spend outside, it's just pure magic. It is our natural state.
Absolutely. And see, this automatically will help with minimalism. So we talk that, but when you have your whole activity outside, you don't think about getting all this stuff anymore, because you're doing so much movement outside and there's so much to do. I mean, we got to bring this up. Like right now, I'm here in Goa, and I was just looking at the room that I have. It's up on this balcony overlooking the ocean, but it's 8 by 12. It's 8 by 12. And of course, I could stay there because I don't need no kitchen. So this is freedom again. But when I was looking at this room, 8 by 12, that was way more than enough room for myself. It popped in my head, anywhere I go on the planet, if I need to build a house, all it needs to be is 8 by 12 to hold my whole livelihood, because I don't stay in the house no way. I'm outside all day. But 8x12 is enough to get a few people over if I want it. You understand? That's all you need. There was
Yeah, you barely even needed that. I just had a
nothing
fan.
else to go beyond that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So like most of
And
my
of
friends
course,
that
I'm
met
looking
on the
at this
trail.
8x12 room. There's no kitchen, you know, boom. You're not even looking at that. That's all you need in life. This will lead you to. Now, you made the key words about your health. We keep bringing that word up loosely, but your health was better in itself over those 2 months that you felt the shift. Right there, you were actually getting nourished.
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking at nature as being nutrition, but it is. That is nourishment. If a person can wrap their head around it.
Yeah, because you're in the middle of pure prana, pure nature and prana. And when you are, especially, I cannot emphasize enough the cold too. I mean, it was really nice being out when it was really warm, because I was in Sedona, was in like in the 90s. But when it started getting colder, that's when I started feeling more and more and more robust. Now, I'm sure everybody's heard of Wim Hof and the cold waters and all of that. There's really something to that. It's really
Right.
important. There was a time over the summer I actually felt like I was getting under the weather, and all I did was go swimming in a cold lake up in Shasta, and within 2 days, boom, my health was perfect. So, and just recently, going back inside in Sedona, I started feeling my health waver and just get weaker. And I felt, oh, you know, I felt it in my chest. So, and now I attribute to the heat and the hot water. Truly, I do. And also just spending less time outside. So I cannot emphasize this enough with everybody. You know, it's so healthy. So
Absolutely.
even if you can't live outside, and even if you feel like you don't want to be outside that much because it's winter and it's really cold where you are, think
Oh,
about
absolutely.
think about how you can incorporate more of the outside world. How can you get out more? Can you go for a walk even if the weather's not great? Can you just dress, you know, for it and just get out there? Can you open your windows? What can you do to spend more time outside every day? Every day. Not just a
Every
couple
day.
times a week, but every day, something outside.
Right. And see, people ask me sometimes, they'll call me from the northern countries, do I have to live near the equator to be a breatharian? And I said, no, you don't. I made my transition in Ohio, which has the 4 seasons and the big winter times. What I decided to do, first of all, I'm in long distance biking. So I had a couple winter times where I actually did wintertime biking. It was so much fun. Those was adventures. I even got videos on them, wintertime biking. And not only that, I began to find out what winter sports was. I did all types of stuff, and I began to have fun during the wintertime being a breatharian. I kept active, kept the heat circulating, being outside, breathing that good air, good quality air. The energy is different, of course, but it's still high energy. You did not lose energy or you wouldn't even be there. So you got to change your perception of how you're looking at the world.
Absolutely. I cannot tell you how many times I speak to a client or somebody and they say, oh, I don't want to go outside because it's winter or it's raining or it's windy. And it's like, that's just mental talk. You know,
Right.
you've experienced it as being unpleasant. Maybe you didn't have all the clothes you needed, or maybe you just decided that you don't like it. But guess what? You can decide to like something too. You really can
Yeah.
train yourself. And a lot of this is mind mastery. You know, you can tell yourself, hey, you know, I love it. I love hiking in the rain. I personally do. But because
Right.
I did that as a child, so I've been programmed to like it. You have the power to program yourself for anything that you want, right? You can
Absolutely.
decide if you want to like something or not like something. You just put yourself in that situation. You change your perspective, as you're saying, Elitom, and then you just start making these changes. So figure out what it is you want to create in your life, whether it's being outside, exercising more, eating less, whatever it is. It all starts up here with the mind. Then we
Right.
place the habits, you know, in place, and then your life starts to change and your health will start to change.
Right. Absolutely. See, attitude equals altitude.
I love it.
You have power over your mood.
Yes. Yes, you do. Absolutely. And if you're outside and you're exercising, your mood's even more powerful because it's even higher and more optimistic. It's been proven that the more you exercise, the happier you are, the less
Right.
depressed, the less
And if you want
anxious.
to change your life, change yourself. That's what got to kick in.
Yeah.
Change yourself, it automatically
Right here.
change your life.
Yeah. And it starts in the brain, starts in the mind. Just make the decision and do it. So I also want to talk
It's all about human development again.
that's right. Human
It
development.
should never quit. It should go on every single day, just on your life.
Yes.
It's like it's going to change you. That's not how it works. Change you, and it will change your life. It
Yes.
goes back here on that manifestation.
Yes. So let's
Oh my gosh.
let's talk about manifesting. Oh my goodness. So when you're outside and you're really connected to nature,
Yeah.
I'm just laughing.
Say one more time.
I'm laughing because the video is just doing the funniest things. So you're, I think your Wi-Fi is really slow, so it keeps like stopping. So I love it. So viewers, those of you watching, please bear with us today. Anyway, what I was going to say is when you're outside and you're meditating and your meditations are getting clearer and clearer and clearer,
Right.
your manifesting powers become clearer and sharper and more powerful. I'm telling you, what I have experienced in the last 2 months have just been blowing my mind. I mean, I am manifesting multiples now. You got to be careful with that. I have stuff just flying my way, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't need all of this.
Right.
There are certain ways of increasing your magnetism and bringing to you what you want. And like I said,
this is so awesome.
Yes.
Now listen at this. I even had to change my, listen at what I'm about to say. I used to say nature don't give you what you want. It gives you what you need. But now I took it to another level than that. It don't give you what you want, and it don't give you what you need. It gives you what you deserve. It gives you, that's why your mood makes the difference. Everybody's manifesting, but if you're manifesting things at a low level, you deserved it due to your thinking.
Yeah, you're going to manifest according to your vibration, period.
Right. Period.
Period.
That's why it pays to to maintain a high vibration. One thing to get there, but it's another thing to maintain it so you can keep manifesting good fruit. And you can, that's the laws of the universe.
Yes.
So our mood means everything. The way we perceiving things. Keep it a good attitude. And you'll start creating some lovely things. And I like how you said it, multiples.
Multiples. I know. So you got to be careful with that. Well, I have to tell you too, there's something about letting go. And I really want to talk about this because this is a lesson that I learned. If you think you really want something and you put all your attention and your focus in trying to manifest it to you, if you're really strong and powerful like I am, you will get exactly what you wanted, which is what happened to me. But what if after you get it, you realize that it wasn't what you wanted and it may not even be good for you, right?
Right.
So you now have kind of taken charge of the universe by bringing exactly this thing to you. But we don't know the bigger picture. We don't know what's in our highest being. So I have learned that it is really, really important to say, this is what I want, but to let it go and not try so hard. Don't push to make it happen. Don't push to manifest. Just allow the universe to bring to you the thing that will serve your highest being, your highest self. Because I promise you, if you pigeonhole your idea of what you think you want, it may not be what you want. If you leave yourself open to flowing while you're manifesting the thing that brings you the greatest happiness and joy and all that, then you will be in alignment with higher source energy, the universe, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, God, and you will get the exact thing that you need. So I just wanted to add that. That's a little manifesting disclaimer that's really important.
You said on that. Wow. Letting go and creating to the highest thing, being precise. That's what it's all about. Taking control of your creation, your responsibility. This is what it's all about. Oh my gosh. I love it. And you've been actually, say, I love it. How you saying, not only you, how you put it with sleeping outside, how your health was bettering, your thoughts was better, and your manifestation power all kicked in at a whole nother level.
Oh, a whole other level. Oh my gosh. I mean, I could just do a whole talk on meditating, and maybe we should next time. And
and this is what we mean by self-realization. It's one thing to hear somebody else say it, that's a good testimonial, but now a person has the opportunity to put these things to the test, where they can see it happen themselves, and you'll get more and more comfortable with yourself, and you'll get better at it. And this is what we want, to get better at it.
Yes. And what I found is you just get out of your own way. You get comfortable with yourself. You also you step aside from yourself, because yourself can be a lot of the mind stuff, right? And, you know, just when you think you've got meditation mastered, yes, you can go into a place of no mind. Yes, you can manifest some things. But once you start hitting those higher levels of consciousness in your meditation, in your lifestyle, it's becoming more and more pure, from the foods that you're eating or not eating, from the lifestyle itself, like you said, becoming more of a minimalist, maybe spending more time in nature, outside. All of that's going to bring you to a higher level of consciousness. And when you're at that point, and you're meditating every day, because I was meditating, I would say anywhere from 2 to 4 times a day, an hour each time, lots of meditating, and maybe even longer than that, actually.
Right.
Then you start realizing that you are the same as everything around you. You are essentially the universe, source, everything, and what you are thinking starts creating around you. It's almost like reality is plastic, and it's just kind of flowing with your thoughts. So the question is how much are you letting go? How much are you relaxing and not trying so hard? How much are you just in a state of surrender, but with total trust that you are in a perfect alignment? And that's where it's at. That's where it's really golden and beautiful. That's where the miracles really start happening, because then you start hearing the messages in the wind. I can hear the wind. I could see wildlife and get a message from that. I can walk by a bush and get a message. Totally tuned into everything, right? But we all have that ability of really, really communing with nature in a way that's shamanic, and it's natural, and it is our birthright. This is what we are. We're star beings, we're earth beings, we're this beautiful cosmic energy that is totally tuned into everything. So with that being said, manifesting should be like this, right? It should be quick and easy.
Right. This is so amazing. And it all goes, like we said, there's not one just separate thing. It all goes together. Frequency, vibration, and energy. Everything is energy. It's our foundation. See, life is a game, but you got to learn how to play the rules of the game. That's when it becomes interesting and fun.
Yeah.
The only time you don't like it is when you don't know the rules.
Right. Or you're mismanifesting, which I've experienced. So start experimenting and playing around with your thoughts and your manifesting. Like, you think something, how does the person next to you react if you have a thought, right? Without you even speaking it, they're going to respond to you. How is the universe? How are events around you responding to your thoughts? Just start paying attention to every little thing. It's fascinating.
Right.
It's fascinating. Run the experiment on
And then
yourself.
you'll get to, once you find out that you could do these things that you are the generator, and you have more control over your emotions and thoughts, you really love living. In other words, that depression is absolutely not. So we have to get to these levels where you start feeling you want to just stay in the zone.
That's right. Exactly.
Stay into the zone. Oh my gosh. Sleeping outside, manifesting, letting go, and it all is hand in hand.
Yes. And there's one other thing I wanted to mention too about manifesting. So manifesting is really fascinating, but it's really valuable if you can manifest in a way where it's not for your benefit, but for the benefit of someone else. That's when you hit the highest level of manifesting there is, because everybody thinks, oh, I want the new car, I want the new job, I want the new relationship, and I'm going to manifest all this. I need more money, right? Well, guess what? That's all about you and your desires, which is okay, right? We all have desires and things that we need. But how's about if we change our perspective, so what we're trying to manifest is for the benefit of someone else? Okay?
Right.
So for an example, I was trying to sell a car. So I was thinking, bring a buyer to me. You know, I'm manifesting, I'm meditating on this, and nothing. I didn't get any calls or anything like this because I made the whole thing about me and what I wanted. As soon as I changed my perspective and I said, you know what, I want to bring to me the buyer who is going to really love this car that I have. I want to bring to me the buyer who has been waiting for this exact car and it's going to totally blow their mind, make their day. It's exactly what they want and it's the perfect thing for them. So in doing that, I changed the perspective. The focus was not on me. It was for the highest benefit of that person who's going to be a perfect match for the thing that I have to offer. As soon as I changed that perspective, as soon as I went into that type of a meditation, bringing that quality of person and connection to me, within, I would say, 12 hours, I got a text message on my phone, and within a couple hours after that, the car was sold, the registration was transferred, the whole thing was done. So it just brought the alignment right to me. So if you want to manifest, get out of your own way and get out of your own desires and think about how can I align for the highest good of others. That is how you manifest.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And you explained it so great in detail.
Thank you.
It isn't hard at all. It's just willing to put these things to use. Again, this is like an education, knowing who you are, what you can do, and just go ahead and just start manifesting to the highest potential possible so you can live a good life, good quality life, a healthy life. And this is what we're talking about on the breatharian message. It goes way beyond eating or not eating. It's how good you work with energies. And not eating is just a byproduct of how well you manifest in these energies as you keep being on the path. You'll get so used to it, it becomes second nature.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about breatharianism, right? So let's say you want to become a breatharian. So that is a personal goal. So you can say, I'm a breatharian. This is what I want. But how's about you flip it so you can say, gee, if I'm a breatharian, how is this going to benefit the people around me? How is this going to benefit the whole world, right? The universe? How is my frequency rising to the point where I don't need food or very little food, right? How is that going to help everyone else? So if you think of, you know, helping your fellow brother and sister, right?
Absolutely.
Helping the planet, and letting that be your focus, and getting out of yourself and everything that you want, and just saying, I'm going to align so everything else can be helped. This is what I want, right? To be the breatharian, to eat less, to clean up my diet, to be higher frequency. I want all of that. So I always say, set it and forget it, right? So you place the intention, and then you think about how it's going to benefit others, and then watch how things line up and how things start flowing into place and coming to you. So you're no longer struggling with it. You're no longer working so hard. You are leaving it up to the universe to guide you and bring things to you as you need it. Because I promise you, you do not know everything that you need. But the light,
Right, right.
your higher self does. So just allow that. So it's the letting go, right? So it's threefold. You make the decision, you get out of your own way, you're thinking of the benefit of others, and then you let go.
Right. And see, right now we're thinking on everything is wholeness. Everything is one. That is the ultimate reality. There is no time and space. Everything is unified. So as we go into this and you start learning more about yourself, this is all a given. It's part of our birthright.
Yeah, it is.
So again, keep the energy flow, keep the frequency, and you can change. Always keep the changing yourself as number one priority as you keep going with the flow. That's why we got that term called evolution or evolution, however you want to pronounce it. That just means change. Change always takes place, and you're just taking part in your evolution.
Yeah.
So this is great.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you so much, Elitom. It was so beautiful to talk with you today. I love our topics. There's so much more we can dive into about all of this, but I hope this inspires everybody who's watching to spend more time outside, open those windows, maybe take a few cold showers, or at least finishing a hot shower with something cold, staying nice and healthy, staying positive, manifesting what you want, like good health and everything else for those that you love in yourself. And thank you so much for
Absolutely. Love you once again.
Yes, we love
Thank
you.
Peace and blessings.
Bye.